Hey, okay. So, I just got into Brood War recently. As you can see by my rank. This game's really fucking hard. So, the plan, I'm making this series. The plan is I'm just gonna get good and we're gonna record this. I thought about doing a series like this for StarCraft 2 or like other games. But there's a couple things I really enjoy about Brood War. One big thing is just like how small the community. Like I started playing 2 weeks ago, and I already made like 2 friends, because like the community's that small. Like especially the English side, anyways, right? Yeah, so it's kind of cool like that, because like there's that. So like there's a certain sort of like respect you can, like, this is one way. If you're having trouble, if you're playing these sorts of games and you're having trouble tilting, this is something that helped me. Instead of like, you don't need to demean your opponents. So like even if your opponent like beats you with something you deem really stupid, you can still find respect for that opponent by just realizing, man, this guy thinks this game is cool as well, right? Because he's also playing. He's playing the same game as you, right? You got something in common. So you can give that person some sort of respect, right? And that way, it was okay for you to lose a game against him, right? He's not like a brainless monkey like a lot of people like to call him. You can be salty if you want, but anyways, that was just a little tidbit. But I find sure, I'll get a bunch of people who don't speak English who are just being racist, which is an interesting experience. I mean, I don't face it. I don't face any sort of racism in a daily, in my normal life, so it's whatever. I'm not really affected by it. I can see some people, maybe. It's kind of funny or sad, however you want to look at it. But mostly my impression's been pretty good of the Brood War community. That's like, I'm talking like in Discord. I'm hanging out in Discord channels. You don't try to talk to people on the ladder. That doesn't work. That's not a good plan. So anyways, I decided like I want to hit this game, right? I want to get going. So anyways, today I started playing. I played about 100 games at this point. A little more than that. And I'm at the point now where I'm getting used to the mechanics. I played a lot of StarCraft 2, so there's a little bit of carryover. I'm at the point now where I'm going to start trying to memorize build orders. Or not just memorize. Memorize one thing. I honestly think memorizing build orders is useless. More just going to try to... Yeah, it's going to be some form of like physical memorization, right? Just trying to actually do the build order. Okay, so before starting this shoot, I was doing a little bit of research on how memory recall works, right? And like how you can memorize stuff a lot more. And I was feeling like a sort of hunch where I think some people are being really, what's commonly taught can be like really inefficient, or like there's certain mistakes you can make. Like, so I'll explain real quick how memory recall works. So when you remember something, you don't make like a picture on your mind, right? So when you first like perceive something, right, you make like an image. When you memorize something, you take that image in your mind, right? And then you look at it, right? But just like any real image, like let's say you're holding a painting, you know, you can drop you can spill like your wine on it or whatever. You can ruin the painting, right? Or you'll add like little blemishes. And that's essentially how memory works. So one way to get around that, right? Because one really effective way to really cement something in your mind is by doing what we call memory recall. So memory recall is revisiting that same memory, right? What essentially happens is that every time you go through, your synapses just kind of get thicker, and then your circuitry in your brain just like fires faster every time you go for it, so it takes you less time to recall something, or like it becomes possible to recall. The problem with just trying to do just like flashcards or whatever is that you're not changing your environment enough to make it a new memory. So it's a lot better for your like to remember something if you have, let's say, like 10 different memories of like the same problem or the same thing happening, right? And then you remember like, oh yeah, that's a thing that happens, versus just having something happen once and then just like rewatching the same video. I think you can follow me here. So essentially what my hunch was that just sitting in a custom game, like sitting in a custom game has its place, and it's definitely where I'm going to start, because it's not just a memory issue, it's a mechanical issue for me right now. Because holy shit, man, in this game, like it takes like 90 APM just to execute a normal build. That's just ridiculous. You don't see that in StarCraft 2. Maybe there's some places where I can cut corners. I just don't know where to cut corners yet. So what was I getting at? I should note stuff down before I get going. Yeah, so if we're the way people are usually taught, and this is kind of a boring way to do it, right? It's just to sit in a custom and then just go over the build order, just over and over again until you remember it. Or to memorize it, like there's this idea of like trying to do everything perfectly. I think that's false, because I found a lot of value. I started memorizing like the start of a build order by just doing the start, and then at some point you just kind of fuck up and you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do here? And exactly that moment, that's creating a new memory of just you messing up in that one specific place. So now you're gonna have that memory in your brain. Oh right, I forgot this here. That's why I started floating minerals, or I started floating gas, or my enemy killed me with 4 dragoons because I forgot to build a bunker, right? You're gonna start remembering these sorts of things, and then you'll understand why you're doing everything in your build as well. Because I know like some people are telling me like I shouldn't be playing. See, I think some of it's for like ladder anxiety. Like some people are just saying like, oh, you should just be in custom games way more. I don't know. I think I just disagree with that. I think I just got to be a little bit more. Like, I think I'm patient with myself. People are just forgetting, I think, how long it took them to learn this game. Because we're like 2 weeks in. But yeah. So I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna start playing some ranked, or not some ranked. I'm gonna create a lobby. But yeah, that was my little spiel. Cool.